reminders from last session. And I quote, "There's been a murder." Ollie wants to go to the Grey District and flex that Ulfric told him he could have whatever he wants. Someone should not tell Ollie what the Grey District actually is. Ulfric is supposed to get... Ulfric is supposed to get back to the party on a cart action plan. Ulfric probably knows what's on the cart. If Ulfric can be convinced that Arnulf is a tongue, then he will still probably pay out. Ulfric promised 9,000 septims after he becomes High King of Skyrim. Zanzarim and Jomo are currently asleep in the fanciest rooms possible in...
Oh, yeah.
The inn, whose
Excellent.
name I remember, and I'm not stalling for time, because it is called the Northern Maiden. No, wait, fuck! Candlehearth Hall.
Can I interrupt?
You got it wrong!
Can I interrupt and just say, having not been in this session, hearing Ulfric's going to get back on this plan, just it screams project management to me. We're going to Kanban the shit out of this.
No, not Kanbans. Giving me fucking William Hill.
Scrum Man, agile development.
It is I, Ulfric, middle manager. Hello.
Synergy.
I need to make a gun.
Java sync. Make sure we're all aligned on
Cross silo development.
And finally, just so everyone remembers, Ian Nicholas last session officially referred to himself as Cat.
No, I did not.
Yes, you did.
No.
Oh my god.
People
heard you. It is written.
No.
It's more than written, actually. It's recorded.
No. No.
You can say no all you like, mate. We all heard you. You said
didn't.
cat clock. We did.
Look, it's fine. Just letting you all know that, and that if Jan Nicholas continues to deny it, I will pay Whitey to make a terrible remix using only the material of you calling yourself Cat Clock.
Benji couldn't be bothered.
Oh, I said I'd pay Whitey.
Oh, wifey. Oh, maybe.
Who will always be bothered.
Yeah, that's a different cat.
So, that means that we have in front of the just happened murder, I believe, Yunbrick, Arnulf, Catclop, and presumably Revere. Oh god. Oh no. What have I... Ah, there we go. Sorry, I completely destroyed Roll20 for a second there. Yes, you are standing in front of a murder in the cemetery in Wilhelm.
Oh yeah, fiery burnt flesh murder.
No, it's not. It's not fiery. That's just what hot liquids do in the cold. They evaporate.
Oh yes, that was it.
Yes. So yeah, no, it's an elderly lass whose blood is evaporating in the cold. The guards eye you, and then, rather unconvincingly, one turns in your direction and... Citizens, go away. Nothing to see. Here.
Is my drunk... Oh.
Robot.
Yeah, very robot. But yes, you are still extremely drunk. In fact, you're extremely drunk. Per your own instructions, you left the tavern with a tankard of mead in either hand, and you're currently slung over Catclop's back.
Awesome. Am I pointing towards the scene of the murder, or not?
Yes, you can see it as clearly as everyone else here.
Okay, cool. So I tell the guards, no, there's twice as much to see here.
They seem confused, bewildered, and disinterested in your response.
I'm going to unsling myself off of Catclop and start groggily walking towards them.
Walkling?
Yeah, walking.
Can we roll to see if he drops any points clambering off of Catclop with a point in each hand?
You know, I considered it, but I didn't want to be mean. But yeah, actually, we've had a point that we're supposed to have more rolls. Let's see how this goes for you, Yunbrick. I will take agility, acrobatics. You're very drunk. We're gonna whack a minus 20 on that, Ollie. You're very drunk. You've been drinking all evening.
I'm untrained, so that's another minus 20, is it?
No,
Minus 10.
Minus 10, so minus 30. So I'm rolling at literally or under.
Lucky
Let's
numbers
see.
too.
88. That's neither a lucky or an unlucky number.
Well, in that case, that is many degrees of failure, and the guard simply, firmly plants his hand on your chest. Nothing to see here. City. Zone.
Wait, do all of the citizens of
All of
Wilhelm?
them.
Wow. Your poor throat.
Regional accents, yeah.
It's nothing but goddamn Wilhelmers from Eastmarch and fucking Dunmer. This town is the worst.
We should stay here for a few sessions.
We should. We really should.
You've only got 7 left on the clock.
We can spend a few more here.
Yeah.
So, sober party members, your drunkard friend is being kind of shooed away by one of the guards, whilst the other one, just quietly kicks at the corpse. What do?
I look at the other humanoid that can actually communicate.
You've got 2 there. You've got Revere and Arnold.
Yeah.
Ah.
Who's there? Right, my mates. What's going on here then?
The one a little bit further back pipes up, evidently somewhat less from Eastmarch. Oh, there's been a murder, I'm afraid. His compatriot turns around. Jeff, what the actual fuck?
I mean, it's not like he's revealing information that's not patently obvious.
You know, they're not wrong. They're not wrong at all. The guy holding Arnulf back just kind of sighs, gives up. Holding Arnulf back? Holding Yumbrick back, sighs, gives up, and just quietly towards him. Just don't touch anything, okay?
So who did it?
They look between each other. I'm not sure that we're qualified to discuss that at the moment. You didn't see anyone, did you?
No, not at all. You,
It's very suspicious.
you got a description, maybe? Anything we can help with?
No eyewitnesses, I'm afraid. We just found it.
Ah. Any more recently?
What, murders?
Yeah, well, not witnesses.
Well, here. What kind of town do you think this is? We're a good 9 divines city. We don't go around murdering folks.
I'm not trying to cast aspersions or anything. It's just, if there's been one, there might have been others.
Look, I can tell from your accent that you're from the Reach and therefore a bit of a wanker. But here on the good half of Skyrim, we don't just murder people.
Well, hey. We in the Reach are a proud people. We might have just a few murders and the occasional massacre.
Also,
But-
I wouldn't exactly call this the good half of Skyrim, given it includes given it fucking includes Dawnstar.
Hey, now it does include Ulfric Stormcloak, though.
Yeah, but also Dawnstar.
Dawnstar's actually right in the middle of Skyrim.
Yeah, you're like the orphan of Skyrim.
We are, but it's fine.
But Dawnstar, Riverwood, Whiterun, and Helgen are all pretty much on a straight line down the middle of the country.
So, how is it that someone could have been murdered here with no witnesses and no guards? Does that not seem suspicious?
The non-East Marcher turns to his compatriot. Yeah, does that not seem suspicious? Seb?
Everyone has to go to the toilet sometimes. How was I supposed to know there was going to be a murder?
The exact opportune time for someone to strike at a murder when they see the guards fucked off for a slap.
Hindsight is 20.
And then net to guards.
Right. I mean, have you considered looking around for clues?
Yes, we have. The guard sort of squats by the body and starts carefully examining it.
Right, I'd like to do a cursory look around if I can,
Yeah, I think that's probably
to see if there's anything really obvious that he's not seeing.
Oh, look, a battle axe.
Can I have a look around as well?
I will take one investigate perception roll from someone, but whoever else has the skill train can assist.
I'm at
I do not have
51.
No, I don't train.
It's at a plus 10 base, by the way.
Okay, so that's 61 for me then. So it's just me.
I don't know, Ollie might, but he's muted.
That's 5 degrees of success. What do I see?
Oof, okay. You see... Actually,
Lashings of blood.
there is an immense amount of blood, yeah. So you're looking at a rather elderly-looking woman. She seems to be maybe Nordic, maybe Imperial, bit difficult to tell. She's wearing, not tattered clothing, but it's rather decrepit, probably as old as she is. Just about. And she has been, like, fatally stabbed in the kidneys. Not just once, not just twice, but repeatedly. And then, when she hit the ground, her throat has been slashed. Moreover than that, you see, in an alleyway with a clear view of the murder scene, huddling against the cold, a beggar.
Bloke over there saw anything.
Sorry, I didn't get the first part of that. Are you saying that to the guards?
Here, guards, I wonder if that person over there saw anything. You know, the bloke sitting over there with a clear view of a murder scene?
That's no bloke, that's Ilda the Unseen, that is.
Well, whoever it is, I'm pretty sure they witnessed his heinous stabbing.
You've seen her now.
I think her name is Hilda the Unseen. Oh no, it's Silda the Unseen. I stand corrected. The guard...
It's Silda, said Silda.
I feel like if
Ollie,
if someone's called her Silda the Unseen.
Ollie, please repair your connection.
Anyone else getting a faint whistling?
Yeah, sorry, that's on my end.
You see night whistlers walking past?
It's a Swedish
Night
phenomenon.
whistlers. Same as screaming out your window.
That's actually Uppsala specific.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I think it's gone. But yeah, no, the night whistlers are a thing. They walk around whistling. It's very annoying. It's actually intimidating when you turn the street and there's like 8 of them just whistling as they walk towards you. You wonder if you've stepped into the set of a musical. This is all real and you should talk to people about this and tell them. Sorry, I say East March, I forgot. We renamed it. Eel Marchers. The Eel Marchers of Wilhelm. So, the guard turns to you then, Arnulf, and yeah, here, look, I'm going to leave Seb with the body and your friends here. Do you and maybe your mate want to come over with me? We'll shake him down for answers. It'll be like we're real detectives.
I love how the guard is like,
did
hey,
you-
stranger, you help me with this now.
I don't know
It's
if
fairly clear that they're in over their heads a bit.
I don't know if you've ever played an Elder Scrolls game, young.
These guards are not the...
I just kill the NPCs. Who needs them?
Their families?
What families? They're all together.
the various cities of Skyrim.
Quickly,
So-
find me the man in the most expensive set of armor.
Oh no, we got that one dick from the second Morrowind expansion. Second? First? First.
First, yeah.
Yeah.
Tribunal.
Yes,
Yes.
it's pronounced tribunal, but yes.
And also in Skyrim itself.
Wait, was he in Skyrim itself?
There is an ebony warrior in Skyrim, but it's not the same guy.
He's a Bosmer, isn't he? It could be. Fuck. For everyone else's reference, it's this one guy in Morrowind who, like, you meet him and he's a poor beggar with really shit stats, and he'll demand you give him money and be really rude and obnoxious, and generally act like a player character. And almost no matter what you do. In fact, no matter what you do, he'll get pissed off. Even if you give him money, he wants more, and if you don't give him money, he'll call you a dick. And then he'll say that he's going to get you, clearly over-leveled person who's killed at least one god at that point. And yeah, nerd, and then runs away. but he's got like 100 luck, I think. So
Yes, you can't fucking hit him.
you can't hit him, and he comes back like 5 days later wearing a full set of ebony armor that, of course, he's lucked into, intent on kicking your ass. What a little dick.
Jesus Christ.
It's alright, if you drain his luck off, he's not difficult to kill. But it's a fun session. Fun quest. So the guard beckons those of you who wish to come over with him and moves towards the beggar. Who's going with him?
I'll go with
Alright. Just Revere, sounds
just
like
me, I guess, yeah.
Everyone else
I said I'd be going with him when you first mentioned it, before you went on a...
Sure. Okay, so
Unless Ollie goes with them, I'm going to stay with Ollie.
just like quietly muscling your nuzzle into the small of his back so he doesn't fall over backwards, crack his head on the pavement.
No, I just stay with him.
No, he can fall if he wants. I'll just see.
You're lucky. You're lucky. I'm too drunk to remember this.
Arnulf Yumbrick falls, cracks his head. Fucking Catclop quietly picks his head up in his jaws, raises him a little bit, drops it back on the pavement.
I'm just getting like in all of these fucking like D&D sessions, all this shit. That's all my mates just always fucking shitting on me.
I love you, Ollie. I'm sorry. It's the character.
No, that's fine. Last week, I got my entire social circle destroyed.
I'm sorry,
this week.
Ollie, you can't declare yourself Prince of the Fun Police and not expect people to call you out on your weird bullshit.
Yeah, well, I stuck to my morals.
You did.
You're a Toreador. Why are you making a fun police?
I'm a
He's
good
actually-
Christian boy.
He is a good Christian Toreador, and
Yeah, I know, but it's like complaining that people don't think you're the fun family member when you find yourself a born-again Christian and a bunch of alcoholics.
Yeah, he wouldn't let them kill people, and he also made the party BYOB, but insisted on them only bringing. It was great. It was the worst fucking thing. Oh, BYOB even worse. Anyway. So you walk over to the petrified. Oh, sorry, Ollie.
I was going to say I would like to try and collapse backwards or forwards, whichever way is easiest, onto the onto Dowenbar.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. You actually rolled on the getting off him, so you spilled all your beer doing that. I think looks like. That was the convince. Yeah, you didn't roll on getting off.
That was just the roll for me to get off. I thought that was the roll for me to get off.
No, I thought that was the roll to convince the guard.
No.
Oh yeah.
No. That was the roll to get off.
Oh yeah, my brain. I completely don't remember how time and space work. So yeah, your beer has gone somewhere. You don't remember where, but you seem to be standing in a lot of it, so that might have some correlation. And you. Sorry, do you just want to quietly fall backwards?
Yeah, I was quietly fall backwards.
All right, I'm not going to make you roll to fall backwards, but it is.
I mean, I'm drunk enough. Anything could happen.
Wilhelm is a very heavily paved city.
Okay, I'm going to aim. I am aiming for Dowenbar.
Oh, okay.
You're aiming to fall onto me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Cool. Catclop, are you going to allow this to happen?
Yes, I'm not going to be overly dickish.
Mm-hmm.
And
Just
so
fire.
Yunbrick falls backwards onto Catclop, near sort of draping himself over the great Sench's back, mumbling out drunken words of, what's your inebriated topic for the evening, Ollie?
I'm going to start sobbing gently and make murmurings about the Dwemer. And...
Sorry?
No, that was it.
So murmuring in some nonsense language of which you can only make out a few words here and there, he gently sobs himself, great thick snotty running tears flowing down his face and into his increasingly matted hair. The other guard, still with you, stares.
This is very awkward.
The rest of you sod on over to the beggar, who scrambles up against the wall as you approach. Jesus Christ. Okay, how do I do a terrified beggar eel marcher accent?
Don't ever do that again.
Yeah, we'll go with that. What are they saying? Why won't they stop?
That was painful.
Sorry, Creed.
Hawk screen right into the mic.
Incandescent screaming.
Suddenly everyone looks up and screams, "Cliff Racer!"
They are fortunately extinct.
I'm really sorry, Creed.
Unless you can, like, reverse engineer one from a soul gem. Man, now there is a Jurassic Park transplant I would fucking play.
Oh, yes. Next BMB.
Yes.
I don't think everyone in the world would be trying to stop you as well.
No, you fool, what are you doing? Don't you know? Oh, look. They do move in herds as a horde of millions.
Oh, my favourite gif.
You thought they were gone. You were wrong. They were just biding their time. Or whatever the fucking Skyrim intro trailer was. Okay, so here we go. Let's give it a go. The beggar scrambles up against the wall. I didn't see anything. She says, terrified. And very difficult to understand. The guard kind of looks at Revere and Arnulf. I think you should ask her a question.
Did you see anything?
No! I haven't. You know what? No. This is the worst voice in the world. She's just getting a standard Eel Marcher accent.
How close can we get to giving you an aneurysm?
You can have prison from, damage to your vocal nodules.
Quick, bring back that Dunmer from Whiterun.
And get the other guard in there as well.
Ah, yes, and the Eel March Hawk.
I'm so tired.
She's not from East March. It's real easy.
No, it's fine. I can do this.
We believe in you.
Didn't see anything.
I mean, given the thing we were just talking about, you were spending so long thinking about whether or not you could, you didn't stop to consider whether or not you should.
If we pay you something, will you have seen anything?
Her eyes glance to your fat purses. Maybe. How much are we talking?
Can I just rummage around and hold out 10 septims? Let's say.
Her eyes light up, and she darts forward to grab the money. Once it's in her hands, she becomes a lot more talkative. I saw the old woman out for an evening stroll. She was moving then. A little shadow crept up behind her. It was over before I knew it. She screamed until she hit the ground, and then nothing.
Could you describe this shadow?
Small.
Than little.
Huh.
Whoever it was must have been bent near double. Or perhaps a goblin.
Dwarf.
Yeah. There are no dwarves in Skyrim.
There are very obviously people born with dwarfism all over the place, mate. I don't know what you're on about.
She looks you up and down. I know. Learned. Nerd.
My problem, ow?
She shrugs. Your life choices. Nerd.
Led me to not be a beggar? Right. In any case, could you identify anything else about this shadow that was maybe more distinctive, other than it being short?
It moved fast. Carried a knife, I think. Seemed to have been waiting.
Way it went.
rushed straight off that way.
And she kind of points off in the direction that the corpse was facing when it was walking.
If we pay you more, will you tell us more?
She shakes her head.
Sad to say, I have no more to tell. It didn't stop to grab anything from the body. But that's perhaps all I can say.
Okay. Can I ask the guard? Can I point in the direction that she pointed and ask the guards, what's actually that way? Who lives that way?
The guard you're with, I think it was Jeff, or a slightly more Skyrim-y version, so I guess Yef.
We'll go with that.
I couldn't rightly say about half the city, really. We're close to the centre of town right now. Here, look, I don't mean to raise any panic or alarm, but I think that the most obvious suspect at this point is probably the beggar.
I mean,
Look at
that
boys.
would...
So it's either the beggar or half the city.
Yeah, now I think half the city's likely to have an alibi, whereas the beggar, right,
What about the other half?
doesn't. Well, I mean, the other half's got the grey quarter in it. They could be doing anything.
Hmm.
Slimy mer bastards.
I can get on with that.
You sounded a bit too into that.
Can I shout from the back of Dowin Bar? What about the murder weapon?
The guard near you, sort of,
That's a very good point.
and goes over to prod at the corpse a little bit.
Here, it actually seems to still be there.
Did we not notice the murder weapon is still there?
Fair.
I don't know if you.
He was the one leaning over the body and not letting us see it, you know.
The guard. Adjust my thing a little bit so I can still be seen. The guard pulls a sticky, blood-spattered, or blood-covered, I guess, knife from quite deep into the corpse. Seems to have been shoved almost all the way inside.
This is
He kind of flicks it into the snow.
grotesque. Who would do such a thing?
Arnold, you're a grave robber. Why don't you go and have a look at that knife?
Just, I am not a grave robber.
Yeah, as the guard's walking back over
There-
the two of you to the murder scene, having left the beggar alone, kind of pauses up at that. Here, what did you say you were doing a second ago before we arrived on the scene?
With the alibi of all these people and all the ones in the inn.
Accomplices, I just seen you bribe that beggar.
I saw you bribe that beggar.
Although this guy does bear out your drinking story, I'll give you that.
You bear out my drinking story. Where are the bears?
Where are the bears?
Yeah.
He kind of slaps.
I think he's trying to say, where are the beers?
He slaps Yumbrick right on the belly.
Toby just chuckles.
Don't know what.
No. Oh, you said bears. You said there's bears. I don't want to fight bears. That's scary. Cave bears.
Skyrim, there's bears everywhere.
Scary cave bears.
So what do, gents? The guards look utterly perplexed.
Our problem.
But we have to help out the citizens of Skyrim.
Help with the citizens of Skyrim.
Well,
We're providing funds for local businesses. Now shut up and let's go back to drinking.
Here, I can't think who could possibly have done this, Seb. We're gonna have to arrest that beggar, and, maybe these guys? The guard kind of idly stares off into space.
just walk away.
You don't,
shuffle backwards.
you don't seriously think it could have been?
The other guard just very unsubtly gestures to the rest of you.
Here, I think we might have to seriously consider that it might have been. They did arrive on the scene just after we did. Look, they've got weapons. They could easily have thrown that knife away. They look quite well to do. They bribed that beggar.
Did you know?
If we murdered this person and then scuttled away into the shadows all scurrilous-like, why in the bloody hell would we go back to the murder scene and help you investigate?
Maybe you're
To
not
say
very
them-
good at murdering.
To take them off the scent.
Maybe you're not very
That's
good
what I
at
would do.
investigating.
I would do it to take them off the scent.
Here, yeah,
No.
look. You've dragged this innocent citizen in as an alibi. He makes some
Oh.
very good points.
I was a rocket scientist once.
I mean, good for you, mate. Not quite sure what a ricket is. We've got doctors, if you...
I'll have you know, we're friends with Ulfric Stormcloak, and he's going to make us a Stormcloak as well. Or at least one.
The guards kind of look between each other. Right. Here, well, where did you say you were staying at?
The,
You can't miss it because it's over there.
A place with bears. Or beers.
When you say over there, where do you point?
We didn't run that. We didn't run very far, did we?
Yeah, it was only Candlehearth Hall. It's just up the street. Cool. So, sounds like
such a pretty place.
you point at Candlehearth Hall. Right. Well, assuming the beggar can't be made to confess, then we might have to be along to arrest you in a day or two. But if you just vaguely stay within the area, then I'm sure we'll get to you and process your crimes in due course. Or not, hopefully.
Oh, I'm sure the people of Skyrim could rest easy knowing that.
Well, with Yef the guard, on duty, there will be no murders. He looks down at the corpse. No more murders.
Except one night.
No more murders this evening. Seb looks up.
What about tomorrow? Yes.
Tomorrow is another night, Seb. Tomorrow is another night. And with that, you are apparently dismissed, it seems.
Oh, yeah.
What do?
I mean,
Go back to the hall.
yeah.
Seemed to be where you wanted to go.
Not probable.
Yeah.
Well, that was a strange waste of time.
We did our civic duty as proud sons of Skyrim, and now we're going back to what we were doing before.
I see your plot hook, and I reject it. I'm going to bed.
Oh. We're not even going to try and pick up the murder weapon or anything. Oh. Well, that was a fun half hour.
As you're walking back, Yunbrick. You're kind of draped over Catclop, and you could swear you've seen this one building go by like 3, 4, 5 times, maybe. Like the exact same building.
Yeah.
On the last turn, on the last pass of the building, your head kind of almost reflexively lolls to the right, back up towards the murder scene. And you see a strangely muscled, nearly naked man conversing with the two rather inept night watchmen.
I'm gonna the appropriate adjective for this. I'm gonna pour myself off of Derwimber.
That's a verb.
Oh,
Sorry,
so, Catclop. If that guy looks like the Nord, he owes us quest rewards.
No, it's the inverse. You owe him quest rewards.
Yeah, well, he's paying us for them, is the quest.
Yes, his quest reward is purchasing stuff from us.
Gotta say, like, bold move being the NPC who takes money from what you think is a player character.
It'll be.
Cool. I guess if I notice the building going past multiple times, am I feeling vaguely the effects of this magical restart? This temporal sort of fuckery?
but it's difficult to say. You're really, really fucking drunk. Like, you think you might have vomited. There's definitely something in your hair.
Okay, well, I'm going to do like a verb and pour myself off of dough bar. And I'm going to try and stagger to my feet.
You do so. The rest of the party, you've lost your drunk. Are you fussed by this, or are you going back to the inn and a night's sleep?
Go back to the end of the night's sleep. Sounds good.
Sounds not good.
He chose this.
He'll be fine.
Oh,
It's not like there's a murderer on the loose.
I stagger to my feet. I'll let the party go ahead. Do I notice the party sort of skipping back to where they were before every so often?
The skips seem to have stopped by the time you get to your feet.
Mm-hmm. The man who's conversing, can I use a logic test to see if I recognise his face?
I think that's probably more of a perception at this distance and level of drunkenness.
Yeah, I can just roll a straight perception.
Let me have a look and see if that combos with anything, to be fair.
There's an observe.
Oh, so there is. I'll take a perception observe at a -10.
Cool, okay, so minus 20 total then. Is that PRC?
No,
That's personality. PRS. So, 7 or under. I got this, boys. Do not got this, boys.
No, it could be any nearly naked Nord.
I'm gonna walk past the building and see if it restarts again.
It does not. But you also notice that the guy is walking down the street towards you. He actually seems like alarmingly bulky at this distance, and you notice he's he's carrying some. A little bit of squinting later. Is that an ebony battle axe?
I mean, if I knew how important that was, I'm sure I'd gasp, but I don't.
An extremely deadly and valuable weapon.
Okay, I go up to the man.
Yeah, he kind of like walks straight into you.
Ah! Excuse me, mate.
And just keeps going.
I said, excuse me.
You can roll a strength to try and stop him.
Yeah, sure. Fuck it, why not?
That's probably strength athletics.
Okay, so 24 under. Nope.
No, he almost seems to slide right off you and continues his slow march down the street.
I shout after him. Have you noticed restarting? Has reality been skipping for you?
Again, he seems to ignore you.
I guess I'm gonna shout "Oi" as loud as I can, and then I want to cast Levitate on him.
I don't think... Can you cast... Is Levitate... Isn't that not self-only?
Maybe self-only. The caster gains this flyer spell strength trait for 1 minute.
You can't just cast Levitate. Otherwise you'd cast 1 point Levitate on someone at the start of every fight.
It'd be so good, though.
Just paralyze him. You bought every spell, right?
I bought every spell in Alteration, but that isn't Paralyze.
Oh,
Paralyze isn't in there. Otherwise I would. Actually... Maybe I can cast Burden on him.
He's nude.
No.
He's got an axe.
He does have an axe. He's otherwise nude.
Well, I have nothing I can do, I suppose. I'm taking up too much time. If I am, fuck it. I'm gonna be like, I'm fucking rude-ass bears in this fucking neighborhood. I'm gonna go back to my bears in the other place beers. You fucking, I don't know what it is anymore, and I'm gonna try and stumble my way back towards the pub.
He also seems to be going back towards the Candlehearth Hall.
Yeah, okay, in which case I can try and catch up to him then.
Yeah, it's not too difficult to catch up to him. He's still ignoring you, though.
I am going to go into a long and rambling rant about reality and I think the Dwemer as well. Like, has he heard of them? What is it about this reality fuckiness? Just because I've been experiencing it, and maybe you have. I don't know, we're in the same era when it happened. Like, what's your take on this, my friend?
I'll take Charisma Persuade at a minus 20, please.
Well, that's minus 30.
What would happen if you gave him, like, you could say this to me? You gave him dialogue options.
Yeah. Can I get some dialogue options, please? Based off my level of skill.
It's not a video game.
You have to voice it, Ollie. That's what I had to do.
Okay, so I'm gonna go up to him and be like, do I say all 3 lines that I can offer?
You could say this to me, or you could say this to me.
You can say, hi there. You can also say, no, what are the Dwemer?
He's just ignoring you, Ollie.
I mean, I'd have to roll a 1 or under. And that didn't work. So, yeah, I guess I just follow him, just talking to him the entire time.
He seems to ignore you, kind of marches straight into Candlehearth Hall, and then, with worryingly unerring accuracy, you'll realize he seems to be going straight for the Khajiit quarters.
No,
He's going to try to return the quest.
I hope.
Is it our Khajiit quarters or just Khajiit quarters in general?
Your Khajiit quarters.
Right, okay.
Man, if only I had the mechanism on me already, maybe I could rejig it to stop him from save scumming, which would be hilarious. Could you imagine taking that?
Corrupted save.
Yeah, I put him on iron.
To exist.
I put him on like Iron Man mode.
Congrats, Ollie, you crashed the universe.
Oh, it's gonna happen one way or another, right?
I don't know what you're talking about. It's not a video game.
Cool. Yeah, I guess I'm like I start talking to him about, he's obviously going in the direction of the Khajiit. I talk to him about the Khajiit, I suppose. How one of them's great, the other ones are like they're right. I let the guys figure out which one's the great one, which one's the rest of the all right one.
Sanzarim is obviously the great one. I mean, come on.
So in that case, then Revere.
Yes.
Sorry, wait, no, not Revere. What am I was thinking of one of the Khajiit. My bad. Jomo.
No.
Oh. Oh wait, we got Carl, or is he still off?
No, I'm here.
Oh, cool. Jomo, you're in your quarters, fast asleep, enjoying a very, very lovely evening, really, of just catnapping. It's maybe midnight, 1 a.m., long after most people have gone to bed. Going on 2, in fact, really. When you are unerringly shaken awake, in front of you is a huge, nearly nude Nordic man. And behind him is an incredibly drunk Yunbrick, rambling about the qualities of the Khajiit.
I turn to him. I think I've made a new friend. He's not very talkative,
I'm gonna have to be right back. 5 minutes.
but he's a great listener.
I'd just like to glare.
I have... Wait, no, he's not an eel marcher. He's, Christ, I'm trying to flip between the 2 fucking accents. Hello there, I'm from anywhere else in Skyrim, but slightly deeper. Hello there. Hello there. Alright, Ulfric Stormcloak Light it is. I have come to buy your pelts.
So you has coin for these Khajiits with wares?
Yes. He just stands there somewhat unblinking. Right, so furs. How much is a fur worth?
Loopy at a set price. I don't know if I put it down. Do you know anything?
Was it blankets, I think?
We agreed 30 coins per with him.
Cool. So he looks at you for the longest time, and then I would like to buy 1
fur.
Quest was for all the furs.
Okay, I think this is probably a competitive commerce.
You're the first time.
Sorry?
We already did this the first time.
Ooh. I didn't remember that. But it does sound like something I'd do. How many furs you got?
I note down we have 16 encumbrance worth. I don't know if that's 16 or less.
I think that
That is 16, yeah, because they're one each. Cool. So he, I will buy all your furs. Not an eel marcher. I will buy all of your furs.
Good. If you follow me this way, we shall take you to the furs. Half now, half when we take you to the furs.
He shakes his head. I will buy all of your furs.
I'm going to start tapping him. And I want to see if he reacts in the slightest.
He does not.
Hope he's not trying to buy the fur on my body.
I start poking him on the face. Sort of, spreading his face around with my hands.
So you're, actively getting up in his face.
Yeah, sort of just, being all handsy with his cheeks, I
So
suppose.
you're making physical contact with his face, Ollie.
I'm going to poke him a little bit, yeah. I mean, I've already been
has been
poking.
initiated.
He stands up to his full height and takes out his giant ebony war axe, which was somehow sticking to, I guess, the ridge between his shoulder blades.
He looks so tense, no wonder why.
You leave.
I start tapping whatever likes my finger against my face, looking at him studiously.
Yeah, I'll take just a fear test, Ollie.
Yeah, sure. What's that, willpower? Yeah.
I think it's willpower, yeah.
Straight willpower, I believe. Yeah, it's straight willpower, isn't
Yeah,
it?
pretty sure. He said, making it up.
I'm going to spend a luck point to redo that, I think. Yeah, I made that.
Okay. So, you stand your ground against the character very clearly threatening you, and continue to poke him in the face?
No. I'm sort of tapping my face now. I'm just sort of there's like looking at him studiously, more just like finger on face, not on his face, my face.
He reiterates once again, leave.
Okay, I will do. You're interesting.
You are not. Leave.
Well, I thought we were friends. That's just rude. You will not be on my Christmas card list.
That is not an appropriate holiday.
You will not be on my Talos Day card list.
That is not an appropriate holiday for you, on many levels. He spins back to the Khajiit. You first.
This way.
I'd like to lead him down to the stables and go see Dowimbar.
I jump on your head as you're leaving the room.
Okay. Yeah, they're not super far, so you can consider yourselves to be at the stables where Dowimbar is just about sort of falling asleep by the time you come in and wake him back up again to get at his saddlebags.
Khajiit has wares. If you have coins.
And on that last word, I would like to put my hand out in like a grabby, sort of give me the money.
Okay. So Arnulf. Why do I keep saying Arnulf this session? Yunbrick. You've made your way back inside.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm guessing you're still a bit suspicious here, right?
I am, yeah.
So you've, inside the building, just conveniently positioned yourself where you can sort of single finger gaze out of a pair of closed shutters at the deal going on in the stables. And out there, you have the nearly nude Nord speaking to your Khajiit friends. Quick as a flash, you see him take out his battle axe and cut Jomo neatly in two.
I lunge at him. Actually, no, wait. If he attacks...
And then reality kind of shimmers,
Oh.
and he's staring at Jomo again. Totally uncut in two.
My legs nearly give way. I only managed to hold myself up
So,
by holding onto the blinds.
I'm sorry I didn't clarify. I was meaning you were, sat down in the main area, but given how drunk you are, your legs giving way whilst you're sat down...
It's not unlikely.
It's not unlikely in a very fun image.
They shoot out from underneath me when I'm sat down.
Oh dear. Yeah. Jomo. Oh, sorry, Ollie.
Then I sort of with a trembling finger just go to look through the blinds again.
Yeah. He tries it again, and this time cuts Zanzarin.
I would like to roll to dodge, please. I won't have this.
I have
Alright,
ability
you
dodge
can-
and a
you
high
can-
dodge
No,
roll.
I'll take it. You can roll me a dodge.
Nice.
I have a...
No, I'm sorry, Nicholas. This is a surprise attack. I'm just giving it to.
To Creed because of the sheer indignity of this.
For the record, it's also a -20 to hit me, so I have kept. Pass my evade.
Okay. Reality shimmers. If you'd like to roll your dodge again, please, Creed.
Of course. I'll use a luck point on that. Do my luck points come back in between realities?
They do. Reality shimmers.
I'll go all day, baby.
If you'd like to roll a dodge again,
Fuck me.
reality shimmers.
So, sorry, we're just establishing that canonically, the Dragonborn is a salty ass bitch.
Now,
Still
Benji,
fast.
of all the possible people to complain about the Dragonborn being a salty ass bitch, which he isn't a Dragonborn. They are extinct.
Hey. I will
That's
fully
another
admit
part.
to getting salty AF, but I live with the consequences of my mistakes.
I'm gonna. Can
Sorry,
I
did you say
want to
that-
run out.
Sorry, did you say that wasn't a pass, Creed?
No, that passes.
Okay.
I want to run out before I see the blade come down again, or scream from the rafters.
Like at this point, I'm also blepping. Just got a little bit of my tongue out.
Ah,
Yeah, because reality seems to be shimmering. It's almost like this cat is incredibly difficult to hit, but every time he misses, things just reset. You
We go
open your mouth to scream, reality shimmers, and your mouth is closed again.
I go to do it again.
Reality shimmers. Creed, can I get a dodge?
Yep.
Reality shimmers. Reality shimmers.
What do you want from me, huh? Is that? Oh, that's dead on.
You're giving me stress,
I'm
Corona.
looking this motherfucker straight in the eyes at this point.
Hold down F5.
Okay, reality doesn't shimmer this time. Oh no, sorry, reality shimmers once more, but this time the Dragonborn doesn't attack. You launch into your scream. Yunbrek. I had to focus so hard not to see Arnulf. But instead of being cut in two, or being attacked and dodging, Zanzarim just neatly disappears from existence.
He just command line.
And then
He went into the game's files and just deleted you.
And then the Dragonborn cuts Jomo in two, and then gets into a quite protracted fight with Dowin Bar. By the end of which, he just about narrowly squeaks, killing the cat. And then reality shimmers.
I'm disappointed he's able to kill me.
Am I back?
You are all back.
I am having a small, no, scrap that, a very large mental breakdown right now. I just went through several layers of emotional whiplash there. On the plus side, I don't think I'm going to be phased if I see any of my friends cut in half again.
I don't know. Remember, it's not cut in half in the exact same way each time. It's cut in half in different ways every time. And also, or at least, it feels different. Obviously,
it's kind of like, at the end of the day, it's like, how long is a piece of string, really?
I see where you're coming from, but I don't think that quite applies in the way you think it applies. However, I will say this actually probably does come under your profession of engineer. Like, you were a reality engineer, at least to some degree, because that's kind of part and parcel of being a rocket engineer, rocket scientist in this setting. So I will take an engineer role at a -10 to grok what's happening here.
Cool.
Like, obviously you know what's happening, but to, like, get deeper meanings. Or, well, you can guess what's happening.
Okay. And it's +5 for each level. I still forget. So, is it +5 for each level?
I think it's +10.
What rank are you?
I'm Journeyman, so +30?
+20
for it.
+20. Okay, so +20 -10 from there, so +10 in total of my intelligence. 61 or under. I'm going to do another luck point. Actually, my luck points weren't resetting because Also, no, 89. Yeah, none of my numbers. Oop.
Yeah, your luck points don't reset.
Yeah. I think I've spent 2 this session. I think I had 3. Yeah, I have 3 points maximum.
Only able to re-roll a roll once, I'm afraid.
Oh, are you? Okay, no worries. And
you're staring at this, very much aware that you're looking at what it appears to be you trapped in a time loop over and over and over again, but Nearly Naked Nord guy also seems to be somewhat aware of it, and is just straight up disappearing people. And what the fuck? Back over to Jomo's point of view. The Nord begrudgingly hands over, what's 30 times 15 at
16?
Yes, he hands over 16 gold. 15 furs, please.
No, it's times 16, not 15.
Oh, right. Do you have 16 furs? I thought you only had...
Yeah, it was 16 encumbrance.
Fair.
I can count them exactly.
15 times 30 then, so that's 10 to
16 fur bedroll.
450... 450 plus another 30 is 480, I think that is then?
And the bear head.
He's not buying the bear head.
No, the bear head's a gift.
Yeah, that was the quest reward for him buying our furs.
Yeah.
Cool.
So you can take it down.
If you'd like to lose all of your furs, which he just packs into a sack, and the bear head apparently, and you gain 480 Gs.
Nice. This most
Pleasure doing business with you, sir. If you take this nice bear head down to the companions in Whiterun, you may be able to turn it in for something interesting.
He nods. Maybe I'll do that.
I'm still looking at this motherfucker dead in the eye. Giving him stink eye the whole time.
Yeah, you're not really sure why, but you're getting weirdly, intensely bad vibes from this guy.
Just cat feeling.
Just
Fucking murder hobo.
Pot kettle.
Hey.
No, pot kettle.
Yeah, actually.
Time we murdered someone in this setting.
We're actual players. We're real players. He's not.
No, he's not a player. He's an NPC. I don't even know what the point you're making here is. Cool. So in that case, party members who are awake, what do? We've got a still awake Yunbrick, though he's pretty close to passing out, and the Khajiit are awake. The Nearly Naked Nord seems to sort of stomp off out into the snow.
I mean, what really is there to do other than wait for Ulfric to give us a mission?
No, I was asking the other people.
Ah,
I want to go back to my brick pillow castle.
Entirely fair. And Yumbrick? Oh, Ollie? Oh, he's dead.
No.
Does Jim know?
Jim may never know. Okay, in that case, can I get an observe over perception check difficulty at a +10, please? From not Revere, fucking Khajiit from Jomo.
Would be +0 because I not trained in observe. So, yeah. Yeah.
You guys hear me?
It's unfortunately
Yes.
only 3 degrees of success.
Still, 3 degrees of success. So, you hear late at night someone trying to pick the door of your room, waking up near effortlessly for it. It slides just a little ways open.
So I get to wake up also.
I guess make the same test, actually.
I mean, I wake as well.
No, you're in the stables.
Oh, yes, of course.
Gonna look. Alright.
Where were these rolls when I was trying to slice a cat in half?
Stay asleep for now. But I am a cat, and I shall wake easily.
So yeah, it's the weirdest threat I've ever had. So yeah, you remain asleep for now. But Jomo, you wake up and see a familiar face just kind of squeak in through the door, lock eye contact with you. It's the nearly nude Nord. The door shuts again quietly.
Nearly knew.
I guess I'm not sleeping for the rest of the night. I'm gonna get back in my pillow fort and pretend everything's okay, but keep a paranoid lookout on every point of access for this room.
Use it as an actual fort now.
Okay, I guess lose a fatigue point, Carl. For Ollie, have we got you back now?
I think maybe. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, my Wi-Fi adapter's being dumb and not working very well. So, seeing what I've seen,
You're roboting a bit for me, I'm afraid.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not surprised. My connection is pretty shit for some reason. My adapter's broken. I'm aware, right, that their reality can be reprogrammed.
It has been an ongoing topic of debate in Dwemer society for quite some time, or it was when you before you disappeared. I think the Skyrim Dwemer tended to err more on the side of it probably can't, and if it can, then you shouldn't. It's more of a like Easterner Vordenfell Dwemer who are big into like, yeah, no, let's fuck with reality's source code thing.
Okay, so so if I'm aware of it, but think it's probably not likely, I think I may have just seen something that was like, oh.
Yes.
I have sobered up quite dramatically. seeing your travelling companions, your friends, get cut in half multiple times, it does that to you, weirdly enough.
Can still almost taste the spatters of Catclop's blood as they flew in through the shutters.
Well, that's just cinematic as fuck, isn't it? And also horrifying. Really shouldn't have downloaded those 4K enhanced combat mods. So I am pretty certain I just saw an example of someone rewriting reality in an incredibly easy way as well. The person just looks like a standard Nord, I'm guessing?
He's incredibly, almost ludicrously buff, possibly the single most overly muscly humanoid you've ever seen.
Mm-hmm. So, I think it's fair to make a logical assumption that it's not something he was born with. This is something he's doing via some fuckery with reality. He's got an artifact, perhaps, or something that I can't see, some sort of magical thing. But I couldn't see anything. So I wonder if he's interacting with it in another way. With potentially some sort of... How is he dipping into reality and rewriting it so easily?
God,
Maybe he's born with it, and maybe it's magic Maybelline.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Unity is actually relevant here, I'm sad to say, which I did not plan, but you've not seen him with that battle axe before, but you have seen this effect happen before, which means unless there's something else also wandering around doing this, which I think you did originally think it could be the dragon or it could be you, so it might be, suggests that either he has the power or the only possible piece of equipment you've seen him definitely have the whole time is his loincloth. So if he has,
Unless the artifact is in his butt crack.
this is also possible. But if he has an enchanted artifact of some kind, it is either in him or it's his loincloth.
Yeah.
How sizable is the bulge?
It's strangely unnoticeable.
Is it almost like another muscle? It's another fucking muscle at this point. It's just got swallowed.
It's what's happened. Dude's on the juice.
Yeah.
We all know what happens on the juice.
Yeah, bit too much.
You can change reality.
Okay.
Oh, that's why.
But at what cost, Callum? But at what cost?
It sounds then, Ollie, like you're pontificating a bit here, which is cool, and I'm into it, but we should let the rest of the party wake up if that's the case.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm going to, whenever the party all grabs together, I want to explain what I saw, and I'm going to be not screaming it, stuttering it like a madman.
So, the next morning at breakfast, I think you all bought the luxury rooms, though we've not charged Callum.
Only the common room got the good room.
Only the Khajiit got the good room, and everyone else got a common room. Yes, we'll say that the Candlehearth Hall is a solid place, and I think you've got a good word in with the Jarl as well, which always helps. So you've been provided with a perfunctory breakfast for the common room purchasers, and a lovely breakfast comes as part of the luxurious room service for the Khajiits. They've even given you a window seat so that Catclop can kind of lean in.
Could I tip for this?
Certainly.
Cool. I would like to hand over an extra 15 septims to the maid, server, tender, whatever.
Yeah, that gets you a giggle and a very, very polite smile from the rather ecstatic lad doing the serving. Here, thank you. Thank you for that, my lord. I just moved to this city, and lovely, generous people here in Eelmarch. Lovely and generous. Bit weird on the speaking, but And I think I'm picking up the accent.
Yes, it is difficult.
I see you've been here a while yourself.
Long enough, one might say.
And burn of the session goes too. So everyone's there at breakfast. You've got bread, wine, cheese, selection of butters for the Khajiits. Jomo is looking a little bit worse for wear, almost like he either didn't sleep or didn't sleep well, maybe. And Yunbrick is paranoidly muttering to himself under his breath.
At the slightest sign of if someone drops anything, I will snap. Like, any loud, sudden noises will just cause me to break.
What happens when you snap?
You'll have to find out.
Because it's
Does
breakfast.
Skyrim have coffee?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Might be a potion for it. Sort of potion of stamina.
Yeah, fatigue.
Kind of an energy drink, I guess.
Fatigue potion will do you.
Actually, yeah, we do have one of those.
It's just Red Bull, but repackaged.
Someone seems to have just taken a green piece of paper and folded it around this Red Bull can. This is so potion fatigue. Okay, yes, sorry. You all have your complimentary energy fatigue potions, which is just a big circular green glass bottle with what appears to be a crude lightning bolt and a hole drawn on it.
So, like, so someone at some point, someone also accidentally mixed a flight potion in with it, and that's news. That's where the slogan came from. It gives you wings.
That's every 1 in a million is also a flight potion.
You can actually buy the limited edition Crimson Taurus energy fatigue potion, which is mixed in with levitate ingredients. So it's a combination levitate fatigue potion. It's banned in the Empire due to the Levitation Act, but they still cheekily tell you, Crimson Taurus gives you levitate.
I like the Nernroot flavour. It makes me hum inside.
Yes. The extract of Nernroot that means that all Crimson Taurus products just lightly scream when left on the shelf.
Red Bull gives you wings and chills.
Oh, dear. God, if we're not getting to Blackreach this campaign, but if we were, this would completely change the fucking Nernroot quest, I'll tell you that.
Oh my god. It's so fucking loud! Make it stop!
Sorry, I can't turn down my shirt.
Oh, dear. So yeah, there is a very loud noise within almost seconds of turning up and sitting down.
I immediately snap and turn to Zanzarim. I saw you die, and I turn to Jomo and start shaking him by the shoulders. I saw you die as well. And then I turn to Dowin Bar. And you were cut in half and your blood went everywhere and it was horrific and it happened over and over and over.
I presume you're still shaking me while you're talking to the other Khajiit as well.
Yes, I am.
Here, mate, how much did you have to drink last night?
Yeah, I was going to say on the opposite side of the table, Revere and Arnulf looking thoroughly left out.
I swing around to them, slam my hands down on the table, look me in the eyes and tell me this is the face of a man who imagined what he saw.
Well, I'll look you in the face and tell you that's the face of a man who had too much to drink last night.
You're looking in the haggard face of a man who clearly hallucinated what he saw and who had a lot to drink last night.
The man who came in and he got your furs, he killed you so many times. Zanzarim, you're a practitioner of magic. Did you feel anything strange?
Yeah.
I would say that as an engineer, as a reality engineer, you are very, very thoroughly qualified to know that the magic that Zanzarim draws on is not the same. God, what's a good way of explaining it?
I don't mean does he feel the magic of the guy. I mean, did he feel strange from having had his reality reset? I'd assume he would be sensitive.
No,
to just
that's what I'm trying to say. Is
okay.
Like completely separate sources.
Okay,
you wouldn't notice it at all.
Okay,
Yeah, I'd be careful. This is getting into mer talk. It's not like you.
Into what talk?
This is
elf talk.
This is elf talk.
I know what I saw. I'm gonna run upstairs or into my room.
Did you buy a room?
I think I had a room. I think I did.
You
I just got too drunk.
Room. Yeah, you had a space in the common rooms, but you slept in the hall, I guess. At least there's a guard where you went to sleep, so that's, I guess, something.
Actually, I'm not going to run out. I'm not going to run upstairs. I'm going to run outside and go to the grey districts for I need to find some stuff so I can quickly make something.
Okay. Everyone else, as we've been doing on Somali stuff for a while now, what do?
As Yunbrig's charging out, I would like to look at the others and be like,
Well, that fellow did break into my room last night. Perhaps what Yunbrig saw was the future. He precognizant?
You mean here? I seriously doubt it.
Is Zanzarim in trouble then?
No, I think if there's one thing we proved, it's that no matter what the reality, Zanzarim will dodge. It's everyone around Zanzarim who's in trouble.
The source code does not want him dead.
That's what it'll be come the apocalypse. Alduin the World Eater versus one dodgy cat.
They call
One
him
hit World Eater.
the Ebony Knight Cat.
So, what shall we do?
Go back to see Ulfric and get our job?
He said a couple of days.
I don't know then.
Go explore the city?
Aye, pretty much.
This wonderful city of Wilhelm?
Yeah.
Has this place any sights to see?
Wilhelm does
No
have
idea.
a fair few sights to see, actually. But I can give you a brief... I would say that fucking Revere would probably be aware. At the very least, it has the Temple of Talos, a number of shops. The Grey District has an open air market. There's Calixto's House of Curiosities, a museum. For some reason, the East Empire Company HQ is in Wilhelm, which continues to shock me.
Wait, what? No,
Right?
it's in Solitude.
No, it's in Wilhelm. I right? I just... it's the dumbest thing. Oh, Christ.
I don't think it's their HQ. There is one in Windhelm. But I don't think it's their HQ.
There shouldn't even be... Oh, it just... Anywho, nerd rage aside.
It's got an office there, and an office in Solitude,
Why is there...
which they want to shut down.
God damn it. So, nerd rage aside, yes, there's a variety of shops. There's, for some reason, some guy, a Halalu's house? Well, no one likes the Halalu. There's Calixto's House of Curiosities, a museum. There's Candlehearth Hall, a very famous inn, which you've all stayed in now. The Hall of the Dead, variety of like old house places, and the only corner club in Skyrim, which will mean nothing to anyone but Callum.
Oh ho ho ho!
Corner club.
Well,
It's like a Morrowind pub.
as fun as it sounds, it is an elf place.
I've never
So I'm
heard
going-
you Souder? Sadder.
Oh, I know. So I suppose I'll stay in character and go and visit Talos. Talos in the Hood.
If I have to.
All these places denied to me.
Cool, so you're all going to just go off and have a day of sightseeing, basically, it sounds like, then?
Yeah, probably.
Museum, rather than the thing of Talos.
I suppose we could go and have a swing round and look at that murder site as well, if we feel like it. But that's up to
Play
us.
my head at murder site. What?
I know nothing of this so-called murder.
It was Jomo all along.
Well, I being the friendly, helping citizen of Wilhelm, am going to swing by the murder site and on my way to the Talos Temple.
Okay.
Anyone is free to join me.
So it sounds like most of you just going to kind of mooch around town then, basically, and we'll just let that happen in the background. I don't think we need to necessarily go into super immense amounts of detail there. Nor is there a huge amount to do with the Temple of Talos, but just on the way, for Revere, you stop off at the murder site. The body has been cleaned away, though you can see a couple of people gossiping around the bloodstains that remain slowly seeping, there we go. God, why don't I remember how to speak today? Slowly seeping into the ancient pavestones. One of them looks up at you, clearly ready to gossip as you approach. Ah, come to Gork.
Well, not exactly Gork. I was coming here to try and help out, maybe. But seen anything?
They point at the bloodstain. Seen that? Seen that. Anyway.
Yeah.
No help to be met. No help needed. Ding dong.
What?
I put the pause in the absolute worst place. Sorry, okay. Ding dong. The witch is dead, eh?
Wait.
Oh, sorry, is Arnav with me?
Yeah, it's apparently
I thought we were all
Arnold was
together.
casually No, you all like split off to go do sightseeing.
Oh, okay. I thought we were
You
sticking
can-
together.
you can
I mean, you
maybe
could come
follow
with me if you
him.
want.
Yeah, you can be following into
Didn't
the
really have
temple
a
if you
plan.
like.
But you did specifically say the temple sounded boring and you wanted to go to the museum.
I presume they were on the. I presume they were on the way.
I actually think they are quite nearby, so yeah, we can say that you're there if you like. Yeah. Someone stabbed Grella the Kind last night.
Wait, so you knew this woman?
You didn't?
Well, no, we're visitors from other places, you know? Proud Skyrim places, but other places.
Grella was the biggest dick in all of Wilhelm.
Really?
You
Did she have many enemies?
Every orphan from here to Whiterun, which is bad when you run an orphanage.
So she ran an orphanage, eh? Can you point us in the direction of said orphanage?
They do point. It's more or less the way she was walking.
It's not at all likely that she was killed by one of the kids. No.
Kind of weird to call her Grella the Kind if she's a total bitch.
I mean, I don't know if you've ever heard of ironic nicknames. What's your epithet?
The dealer with stupid people and their problems, mostly.
I didn't hear the first half of that, I'm afraid.
I was being sarcastic and saying Arnold the dealer with stupid people and their problems.
Arnulf the dealer. I have heard of you.
How have you heard of me? Oh, right, yeah, the whole...
You sell contraband.
I do... Jesus Christ.
Well, you're the
I
one
do
who
not...
said you have an unironic the dealer nickname. How much?
Sarcasm hasn't really reached this part of Skyrim, has it?
They don't call me Sven the Insightful for nothing.
I also
Must be
I
one
do
of
not
those
se-
ironic
I do
nicknames.
not sell contraband. I am here.
Oh no, but I don't think we're going to get much further with this.
You're right.
Sorry, just as Revere politely interposes himself between the two, seeing a long conversation that needs to be headed the fuck off. A long conversation laden with many unnecessary pauses.
They call him Arnulf the Brief.
They call him
So,
Arnulf the non-argumentative. Sorry, what were you saying there, Revere?
So, let's go over what we know then. We know it's someone small, possibly bent over, but probably small. We know that they fled in the direction of the orphanage, and we know that Greta runs an orphanage.
Wait,
Now,
was someone
And that all her enemies are also orphans.
yes, that too. I think we need to pay a visit to an orphanage.
Not the younglings! Don't kill the younglings!
Camera pans down to sword.
Arnold has flashbacks to when they got Revere. And he's just thinking, is it worth it again?
As a proud orphan. What do you mean when they got Revere?
My friends did raise you.
Like, they
Wait,
just
it
thought
doesn't
you were a
mean
really
that
big
you-
kitten at the time.
Yeah, you didn't raise me. Also, what? Anyway. Oh, as a resentful orphan myself.
Ah, one of Grella's lot.
No, I'm from Markarth.
Oh, yes,
The,
I should have been able to tell by the vague stench of murder.
Yeah. Anyway, Arnulf, fancy a trip to the orphanage?
Oh, I go on then.
And so the group goes off to the orphanage. Are the Khajiit splitting off to go do their Khajiit things, or are you all going to the orphanage together?
So,
Sorry, you cut out for me at the first there, Carl.
Like seeing what the other Khajiit wish to do.
Just tag along for now.
Yeah, I'm happy.
We're currently in profit, so keep an eye out for any nude Nords trying to rob us.
Yeah, there's actually a couple of times that you almost think you can see the guy. I wouldn't say Revere then, Jomo, but he seems to disappear just as you go. Just as you notice him. In that case, skipping back to Yunbrick. Yunbrick, you're rushing down to the Grey Quarter, which you came in through, I believe, so you do vaguely know where it is. You just didn't stop there. As you go, you note maybe 2, 3 alarming resets where you're left somewhat further back up the street than you were.
I am getting more and more crazed. I'm still trying to keep it inside, but there is a little bit of babbling coming out.
You're now in what you're pretty sure is the Grey Quarter. In fact, you're in a very large open-air market. Sorry, I thought I had a thing available, but it's not going to tell me. UESP Wiki. Why are you no help? Oh, the open-air market's actually in the Stone Quarter, not the Grey Quarter. But it is in the Grey Quarter for us. Why the fuck not?
Reality shifts again.
Reality shifts, and the Stone Quarter ceases to be. The Grey Quarter doubles in size.
Oh god!
Come the grey half.
Yes.
Ulfric feels a tremor. Opens his curtains. Wait. Something's wrong.
A silk strider across the horizon. Yes, the four great districts of Wilhelm. You have the Hall of Kings, the Grey Half, and Orphanage.
Be careful here, let's not get into any of the alt-right stuff. Not again.
No, the Grey Quarter's the best. I love the Grey Quarter.
I still have no idea what it is. Like as was requested, I have not looked it up. I know nothing about it.
You are a gem. So I will take an observe persuade skill.
Okay, I do not have observe trains.
It is
I really
plus
should.
30.
Okay, awesome. So plus 20 instead then. To PRS.
I have it trained.
You're not with
So 47 or under. Yeah, I made that.
That is a 1.
Oh god, I'm going to notice too much, aren't I?
You look around.
Oh, the reality's going to shatter again.
Wait a second. That guy, that whole market, in fact, like 80% of the people here, and that... Wait a minute. The Grey Quarter is called the Grey Quarter because it's where all the Dunmer live.
Bum, bum, bum.
You, unfortunately, have fallen victim, utterly and completely, to Ulfric's racism.
Whoa.
The Grey Quarter is just Wilhelm's ghetto.
Sorry, Ghetto 1 become racist?
No.
Yes.
No, he's not become...
Yes,
Roll the 1!
He's not
Therefore,
become
I'm now
racist. No.
This
Remember
is
that
exactly
time?
what Ewan is saying.
Remember
True
that time?
enlightenment.
Remember that time I rolled a 1 and just became racist?
Well, see, Ollie, you've now joined the 1%, and
Oh,
clearly you are
fucking,
now
where's
racist.
my goddamn Discord? Into the corner with you. And he can live in the wanker's corner until he thinks about what he's done.
No regrets.
Scree. So, yes, no, you've not become racist. You have just twigged that Ulfric wasn't being helpful, he was just being racist. The Grey Quarter is a quite literal ghetto into which Dunmer refugees from Morrowind, after the province basically exploded, flooded. Even a couple of centuries after the fact, and it doesn't take long for you to find out a lot of this information just from, like, quiet words with a few people, as you got a 1. even 2 centuries after the fact, huge amounts of territory in the province are either completely unlivable or extremely difficult to live in. And it was one of the most heavily urbanized areas of the continent, in fact. So their huge glut of refugees flooding out elsewhere, many of them came to Wilhelm, settled damn near permanently, and because Ulfric's ancestors let them in, despite his own particular tendencies, he's kind of stuck with them. Because otherwise he'd have to evict a huge section of the city or start what would basically be a pogrom in grand old Nordic tradition.
How magical are the Dunmer?
Innately,
Depends which one.
actually. They... Sorry. So, yeah, quite magical. They have an innate fire resistance, they can summon ancestor spirits to protect them, and generally have quite strong magical traditions. They tend to specialize towards spell swords, is the usual stereotype, which is like a medium infantry magic user melee combi.
There it is for a fight for them.
Are the Dark Elves, we don't like them, or we do like... Did I like them or not? I can't remember.
They didn't exist when you were a thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, they didn't exist. You have put them together. You have put together since, to be fair, because it's come up a lot, because people consistently mistake you for a Dwemer. But you have put together that they are what used to be the Chimer when you were around. You don't like them. So if you remember, we had the divide we talked about earlier between like the middle-ish Dwemer in Skyrim and the like hardcore let's rewrite reality's source code for shits and giggles and become god Dwemer in what is now Morrowind. The other group of people in Morrowind at the time were the Chimer, who were basically like religious, fundamentalist, hyper-conservative tribesmen.
Oh, yes, I think I have read a little bit about them, actually.
Yeah. And they had been warring on and off with your, like, high-tech brethren / isolated cousins off to the east for quite a while.
They're a little bit cunty. I'm not a big fan of them. Okay, cool. In which case, I let out a very loud scream of frustration. And I guess ask the closest person where I can go to buy things for allowing to help, where I can go buy materials for making things.
The Dunmer at the closest stall shoots you a very friendly smile. Do we have an example of a... Oh, you know what? I'm just going to retcon someone's background a little bit here, but...
Sarah, welcome to Billy Nalalu's house of stuff. You can buy whatever you need. Knickknacks, trinkets, raw materials. We got food, we got bones, we got... You want to buy a...
He glances nearby.
Cigarette? Sticks. You want to buy a death stick?
I look at him. Sounds like you've had too many of those.
You don't want to sell me dark soul gems.
He looks you up and down.
Listen here, Outlander. You want to keep that bullshit down in the Grey Quarter.
I take a deep breath. Right, so, side note. My plan is, does this guy have the materials I need? Do I know? Can I look through his wares and see if he has the materials I need?
He's just operating a, like, rag and bone stall in the market square. What material? Oh, you were after, like, specifically advanced materials.
Yeah, those specific materials that the guy at the, that I figured out, I worked out I needed.
Weren't they, like, 2,000 Gs or something with his discounts?
Yeah, there was, but, like, I specifically remember old Ulfric Stormcloak being like, you can have whatever you want.
Okay, you can try that if you like.
Does this guy have any of the items I
I
need?
tell you what, you find one thing initially which looks like it might be just about serviceable, and it's the first glimmer of hope you've had in a while.
Okay. So for the mystery thing, I tell the guy that I would like that. How much does it cost? I'm willing to go no higher than 90.
He eyes it, eyes you, eyes it, eyes you.
91.
57.
92.
57.
But Sarah, stop dicking me around.
I should have let him say how much it was worth.
This fine piece of scrap metal comes to us from distant Hammerfell. Do you have any idea how many people have died for this
He checks the back of it.
thing? I can tell you exactly how many. 4. And if you keep dicking me around, the number's gonna go up. Tell you what, cut your deal. 97 G's and it's yours.
That's not a deal.
Folds his arms.
110 G's and it's yours.
That's fine. I
just
can
went
find it. I can find it anywhere else. I don't need your scrap metal, you dirty Keimer bastard.
He raises 2 eyebrows.
What the fuck? Alright, get out of here, you noir bastard.
I called you a bastard first, you bastard.
No one insults the proud House Halalu.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you over the sound of your death sticks. And I walk away. Run away saying I haven't got time for this shit.
Yeah, run back to Cyrodiil, Outlander.
I shout at him, I spit on your gods! As I'm running away.
Yeah, reclamations take your mother too, arsehole.
And neither of you hear each other's final burns as you have a running insult match through the rest of the Grey Quarter. It doesn't take you more than a couple of stalls to figure out that Ulfric's offer of I'll let you get whatever you want seems to be pretty much bullshit. No one will hand you over anything for free short of you marching Ulfric down there. And in general, opinion of Ulfric in the Grey Quarter doesn't seem to be high, and bringing him up seems to make prices shoot up with alarming regularity. The worst thing that the worst response you get is what seemed to be a very friendly elderly mer, who, upon hearing that you're supposed to get a discount because you're friends with Ulfric Stormcloak, simply hucked the item that you were haggling over straight into the Sea of Ghosts. Oh, sorry, can't make the Sea of Ghosts from there. Straight into the... Did we rename
What
the
a
river?
fucking arm!
Did we rename the river Lake YOLO?
Yes,
Alright,
you
so
did. Could we not have it that he's cast a levitation spell on it? It just fucking beans that thing.
Gives it a good old yeet.
God, how do levitation spells interact with momentum? That is an interesting... Because levitation spells give you a constant speed, right? It's whatever the points value of the levitation spell is. But the momentum should still carry over. So you could huck something as hard as you can and it will always travel at the same speed, but the momentum should... fucking hell. I'm so glad physics doesn't apply.
Don't think about it for too long.
Yeah.
It depends.
But
If,
it's funnier if he threw it into the Sea of Ghosts from Wimbledon.
Yeah, he hucks it. He hucks it straight into the river YOLO. So it still clears the walls, but you hear
Damn.
the splash.
You're a right cunt, you know that.
And your ancestors were all dicks.
My ancestors. Don't talk to me about my ancestors.
Every one of their mothers had your ancestors in noir. Now get out of here.
I'm pretty sure I fucked over your ancestors, but that's beside the point. I'm fucking up. Bye, dick.
Yeah, that one gets you a small fireball hurled after you.
Okay.
You're getting, for the record, you're getting an immense amount of leeway in the Grey Quarter because you got a fucking 1 on your rolling to figure out what the fuck was going on stuff. But otherwise, insulting a Dunmer's ancestors to their face is a bold move.
Technically, they weren't they weren't, ancestors in my
Because you
time.
were contemporary with their ancestors.
Exactly,
doesn't
yeah.
make them not their ancestors.
No, I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying, to me, I have no shits to give. Not that I had many to begin with.
What I'm trying to say here, Ollie, is you are theoretically in danger of being lynched.
No, I'm fully aware. I'm fucking off.
Okay,
I want to find.
okay,
I want to.
Just so you know.
I'm going to go up to Mr. Stormcloak's place.
You're going to go up to the Hall of Kings.
Yes, I'm going to go up to the Hall of Kings.
Okay.
We can focus on the rest of the
Kings,
party now.
Yeah, let's switch back over to the rest of the party, going over to the orphanage, which I don't know if it had a name.
Golda's place of happiness.
Sure, why not? Golda's place of happiness. Wait, no, it wasn't Golda, was it?
With half the letters missing off the sign.
Oh, God.
Golda the kind.
Grella.
Grella the kind.
Grella.
Yeah, not Golda. Oh, sorry, it
Yeah,
does have a name. It's the Honor Hall Orphanage. God, what's a funny thing for the letters to be missing there? Quick, someone give me a witty. Which isn't just losing the N, because that's really dark.
That was going to be my suggestion.
No, we're not. We're not going that way. Okay, so you rock on up to the Honor Hall Orphanage, but most of the letters have fallen off of the sign outside of the timber building, which I'm just now realizing is actually located in Riften.
It's gone
I
quite a
was
way.
wondering.
After the whole East Empire thing, the East India Company, Jesus.
What are you
What are
doing
you
here?
doing?
British mercantilism knows no limits.
Rule
I didn't want to test my knowledge too
Britannia really
much.
fucking does not manage its overseas empire.
Tell me about it.
Look, all we're saying is we need to find markets for our opium, and this seemed like a good one.
Oh dear. Yeah, no, sorry. I see why I got confused, but the Honor Hall Orphanage is now the only timber building in all of Wilhelm. Positioned
Kids
inside,
don't deserve a proper house.
positioned inside a small park. Yeah, and it does seem to be fairly dilapidated. There's a sign outside, and again a wooden sign. Most of the letters have fallen off, so it basically just says Fanage.
Once again, Ulfric, in his pajamas, opens the curtains.
What in the fuck is that?
Does anyone else see him with a little mug in his hand that says "World's #1 Jarl"?
Silt Striders going past. Orphanages popping up.
It's just like a volcano distantly visible on the horizon. No, I swear that's not. Oh, someone in the night has picked up Wilhelm and moved it to Morrowind.
The vein in Ulfric's forehead.
Just swapped it with Port Talvanus. Oh, sorry, this is getting really increasingly obscure.
But you're going to say Port Talbot for a second there.
No, Port
But that would be horrifying.
The orphanage looks quite run down. You'd think it was abandoned, were it not for the sounds of laughter coming from within, and what appears to be a rendition of Ding Dong the Witch is Dead.
Seem really
Closed.
set, don't they?
Oh, I remember.
Yeah, as soon as I found the orphanage, it's like, oh yeah, I know this one.
It's alright, I can't speak anyway, so.
Exactly, same here, so we can't spoil anything.
I thought you all went off to do cat things.
No, we tagged them.
We were
Oh,
tagging
you
on.
did tag along. Sorry, my bad. Yeah. Cool. What do, friends?
Did you say the door is open?
There actually isn't a door. A little bit of a look around indicates that the door seems to be positioned some ways away in the front garden. It's not actually been like recently forcibly removed because it's been at least partially mossed over where it sits.
What a fucking orphanage this is.
Well,
Wonder
it's
they killed
technically just a fanage according to the sign.
Can I knock at the wood next to the door and just shout, hello?
A rather meek-looking lass
ducks her head out rather rapidly.
Hello, how can I help you?
We were just in the neighbourhoods and saw your proprietor. She wasn't in a good state.
Lying on the ground with 2 kidneys perforated. It doesn't seem like a very lovely state to me.
Well, yes, Arnulf, I was going to get to that. I was trying to ease into it.
I think they know about it, given the sounds of partying from inside.
Oh, no, that's children's ordinary birthday party.
We're all
Right.
mourning Grellard's loss. Truly, she was a good... We miss her.
See, I'm not sensing a whole lot of sadness coming from you or really anyone around here.
One sec, and her face screws up in concentration. And she does not make it. Boo! Boo-hoo! Boo!
I've just got to say that I've been in a lot of places on this continent of ours. You sound about as convincing as a Dunmer when he says he supports Argonian civil rights.
Oh, that's a bit on the nose, isn't it?
Well, you're the one who's not crying about the woman who used to run the orphanage being dead, so, you tell me.
Look, unless you're here to adopt an orphan, I don't think I have to take this.
Got any Argonians? We could probably use one of them in our band.
She looks between the 5 of you.
I'm not convinced you're a stable household, I'm afraid.
I mean, there's plenty of people who look after the kid. I'd like to point over at Joma. Fucking cat clopping answer him.
Yeah.
Were any of your orphans out last night at all?
No, the children's bedtime is at 6 p.m.
Okay. You did you see? Oh, when was the last time you saw Grellard?
Well, she left for a walk around midnight, I think. She woke me up and very politely told me to watch the place until she got back.
The light seems to go from her eyes at the memory.
Okay. So, we're budding stormcloaks in this city. We're pretty hot stuff. Been working with the guards, and they've. I'll level with you. They've let us in on this here investigation into Grellard's death.
Oh my! I didn't realize.
I think I'll probably, to be fair to Ollie, because I've made him roll on a lot less than that, I'm going to need a deceive roll there.
They haven't they?
Sorry?
They have let us in on the investigation.
I mean,
Yeah,
they have,
he doesn't-
but not in that way. Oh, actually, I see what your Nicholas is saying.
Yeah, no, but just because they have doesn't mean she knows that.
No, but you wouldn't be rolling deception.
Yeah,
on
he's not
them.
rolling deception.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Because they did.
Right?
They really actually did. Oh dear, where's Revere? Okay, I could also take a persuade.
Yeah, let's try going with a persuade. I do have a first impression bonus as well, plus
Cool.
10.
And then it's otherwise over a personality, and I'll give you another plus 10 because she's gullible.
Fair dues.
Can I assist?
You certainly can.
I'm untrained the second up.
I'm trained.
So what's that? Plus 20, plus 30?
Yeah,
Seems
net.
like. Yeah, okay.
As Jomo stands
Right.
in the background giving strategic.
Yes, that did happen.
Well, that will be 4 degrees of success.
Okay, yeah, no, she looks you up and down.
Yes, I must say you're possibly one of the most official Stormcloaks I've ever seen.
I let out a little.
Look, let's step away from the children just for this discussion, if we may. There's a nice spot over by the apple tree over there.
She points at a gnarled, half-rotten trunk.
Or there used to be before Grello cut it down.
Cut it down and then left it there. Why?
The children were too loud when they played neath it.
So gag the children. I don't get this.
Jesus.
You think all those years of raising kids and tell her how to do it right?
I don't know. Speaking as an orphan myself, I really don't think that you should ever be a parent or a foster parent. I don't think you should be anywhere near kids.
The lass pipes up. In my professional opinion, I think the young Stormcloak is probably correct.
Tree's far more valuable than the kids.
Oh, how old is this kid? Their professional opinions? Because I was imagining them very young.
This is an adult woman. She said it was kids inside.
Oh, I see. I thought this was another kid the whole time.
No.
No.
It's a really slightly stuck-up kid. Well, we've been giving all Imperials posh voices, so... Oh, Papa, do fetch us a lolly from the store. Or shop. It's an American game. Store. Yeah, she leads you over to the slightly worn-down tree. Look, the children were all supposed to be in bed by 6, but I could have sworn I saw one of them leave around maybe 8. I would have gone to check the beds, but Grellad was sleeping by then, and she was always rather frightfully upset if she caught me moving around after she'd gone to bed.
Okay, which one of the kids? Do you know what sort of bed they sleep in? Or do you know which...
Aventus Aretino.
Okay, we might need to go and have a chat with him.
Is that
kind of
really necessary? No one liked Grellad.
So, yeah, it's probably going to be necessary.
What? Just before we go, what kind of kid is Aventus?
I imagine he's Imperial.
I can't lie, I thought that was the type of bed at first.
No, he's a Nord. Nord came to us this winter. His mother died of wasting illness. A native of Eelmarch and Wilhelm in specific. Lovely, sweet, calm child. Big reader.
Name for a Nord.
I believe his father was Imperial.
That'll be all right.
Yes. Hang on. I'll just bring him out to you. She moseys back off into the pannage. Can I get an observe over perception check from someone, please?
I got it trained.
But yeah, I've got that as well. Depends.
I have it trained.
What's yours, young Nicholas?
Was it over perception?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe that is 9.
Reserve over strength.
I'm novice. It's standard, which means I'm just 39.
I'm 51. So do you want me to do it?
Oh yes, by all means.
And assist. Assist.
And assist.
You can get assists.
Can I assist?
Okay, so
Alright,
that's 3
fine.
assists.
God.
Okay,
Oh,
so
3 assists.
she's
Okay. Well,
she's
that was 81, so yeah, I passed that.
she's in there for just a little while, but you see something seem to come sort of hove into view in the at the far end of the park. It's a series of bushes which seem to be moving, almost as though someone was wriggling through them. And then a small child emerges right at the end and dashes out into the street. What to do?
Right. Hell, Master Dowimbar, apprehend that child.
I dive at the child.
Oh,
I just want you to run off. I just want you to run after it.
There'll be a smear.
I did say apprehend.
I'd like to grab him in my jaws.
Oh no.
Just pin him down, you
There'll be a
fool.
smear.
Can we say I was on his back?
I think you're low-key on his back most of the time, so sure. Alright, Catclop.
Paralyze the boy before Catclop ends up.
Well, hold on a sec. Let's see if Catclop actually catches up to him, because he might still get 100.
I can spend a sprint to double my movement speed.
Yep. So we'll give you one hell of a bonus. I'll take Edge Athletics, and just a plus 40 for all your assorted four-legged fuckeries.
Cool. And can I spend a?
That's including that.
Can I also spend one on just standard stuff?
Aren't you rolling basically cap at this point?
Probably, yeah.
I'm not going to stop you spending past cap if you want to, but really all you're doing is flexing on this child.
Standard edge is 40. Is it a skill I'm rolling, sorry?
Yeah, Edge Athletics.
Athletics. Is there any apprentice?
That's plus 10.
Plus 10, plus the 20 you gave me.
Is it
I
a novice
gave you
plus
a
10?
40, mate.
Oh, plus 40. Oh, I'm running a cap. 90's cap, right?
Yeah.
Novice is plus 0.
Oh, I could have sworn they were weird in this and just went straight to pluses.
Okay, then let's see. I only just make it.
This child gives you an uncannily good run for your money. Like, you consider yourself to be pretty fucking fast, but this little twat
you're a tiger
almost
horse.
outpaces you.
That's because you can move around in the streets much more nimbly than a big old cat, right?
You might think, right? But no, even in the open street, this little fucker, once he gets going, moves at damn near the same speed as Catclop.
That's terrifying.
He's just been doing like 20 sit-ups and like...
He must be the killer.
I mean, he's gone to do the One Punch Man thing.
Yeah.
Child has done normally past. He must be a murderer.
He can outpace me. He is.
Alright, Creed, I believe you wanted to try a paralyze.
Yes, please.
You've got a
Any
clear
modifiers?
shot. They're doing the straight runoff. So declare spell rating and cast.
Spell rating 3. Any modifiers, sir?
Nah.
That's a pass. So he makes plus 0 willpower test.
Well, he is only a child. That is passed!
Motherfucker.
Which unfortunately means that he gets Catclop straight to the back.
I'm a coming for you.
So I guess just because he's doing strangely well for himself,
Getting
Catclop.
crippled.
I'll take strength athletics at a plus 30 to just pin the guy.
Okay. Could I go off my unarmed combat skill?
Sure, why not?
Nice. That's journey.
Tried to cripple him.
What was the plus you were giving me?
I think I said plus 30.
Rolling it cap again. Again, only 2 degrees.
This child, that's only 1 degree of success. This child, like, you leap on him quite lightly, to be fair. You're not trying to kill him. But even once you get him down, he wriggles like crazy. Like, you get your claws digging into his spine, but he's thrashing, almost getting himself loose. It's not until you have physically lodged his head inside your mouth, at which point terrified bystanders are screaming and yelling, calling for the guards to save this child, that you've actually finally got him to freeze up.
Should me and Revere roll runs to run after this? Because I'm a man in his late 40s.
Well, let's
It might take me a bit of time to...
just
I
assume
mean, yeah, you could probably make it, but some of us are a bit off.
let's just assume that you've just play the scene out for me. You've directed Catclop to go and pin this target, and then presumably presumably Jomo's given you a bit of a "I love your faith in him, but why?" Look, and the gears have just about started to turn in Arnulf's head before he realizes he told Catclop to do the thing. And historically, Catclop's go-to response with anything it put in his mouth has been to attempt to permanently paralyze it. Not because he's dumb, he just...
One track
I don't really know why he does, he just keeps doing it. I think he's jealous of people with thumbs.
Right. Let's get over there quickly then.
So by the time you get there, all of you sprinting after Catclop, you find him with the child in his jaws, Zanzarim on his back, surrounded by 4 Wilhelm guards, swords out, trying to get near to the cat without the cat murdering the child, as terrified onlookers shriek in high-pitched Wilhelm accents. The humanity. And that, I think, is probably a very good place to leave it.
Oh dear.
Reminders for next session. Anyone?
Hi everyone.
Yep.
So I don't want to build a device that, tracks these magical resets. I want a device that can stop them through presumably some sort of intense burst of logic.
Hardcore mode.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to build his reset tracking device any more. Brick wants to build a device to stop resets altogether. Cool. Okay, anything else?
No, that's it for me.
Anyone else? Reminders for next week?
Watch out for not Dragonborn trying to nick things.
Watch out for nearly naked Nord trying to nick things. I almost capitalized Nick then. Anything else? I think we should probably note the Catclop situation down.
Yeah.
Catclop kill the child or dies at the guards.
Catclop has Aventus Aretino's head in his mouth. Any other reminders? No? Cool, everyone follow.
Ulfric still owes us a job.
Oh yeah, Ulfric still owes you all a job. Which we will get to next session, I promise. Any other reminders for next week? Nope. Cool. Okay. Feedback. Anything you liked, anything you disliked, anything you'd like to see more of or less of next time?
Good.
Anyone else liking it? No, it's going well actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we got a fair amount of stuff done. Who, sorry?
More of everything.
The incompetent guards that were actually quite funny and nice to interact with.
We should probably note down their names in case we need to refer to them.
Oh, what? Seb and Yef.
Seb and
they
Yef.
were
Well, I mean,
really
if you
good.
don't note them down,
I
I'm not going to remember them.
I really enjoyed them. They were a lot of fun.
I'm glad.
Yeah, Seb and reminder for next time. Seb and Yef enlisted our help.
Seb and Yef, the guards, enlisted.
I feel like this may be crucial information next time.
I really like the idea that so many people in Tamriel are so ludicrously helpless that they kind of do just give jobs to whoever turns up, assuming that those jobs aren't ludicrously specific. Which is a bit sucky for Yunbrick out here with his, genuine skill set trying to find qualified work, and everyone else is just stumbling onto police investigations. Not even police investigations, fucking glorified night watchman investigations, and getting offered, private detective positions tacitly, that they then go, nah, fuck it, I'm going back home. I've got a comfy bed, I'm going to sleep in it this time.
Oh, man. It's so nice to sleep in a bed in a room for once.
And we got to use it multiple days in a row? What the hell?
I don't think you did. I think you
Oh, no, not multiple days, but we slept in it, which is just the impressive thing.
I mean, we used it for the day before and the day after, so it's technically multiple days.
I suppose. Oh, it's evenings. Anywho. Any other feedback?
I like when canon-named characters get involved, even if they're somehow geographically warped halfway across the country.
No, so Aventus Aretino, this is how I got confused, right? So Aventus Aretino is in the right town. He's from Wilhelm.
But Grella isn't, right?
Yeah, no, she's not. He's from Wilhelm, and his quest line starts in Wilhelm. He runs away from the orphanage in Rift.
But I assumed, because his quest appeared on the wiki page for the UESP wiki, that, oh yeah, of course the orphanage is in Wilhelm. Where else would he have run away from? It's not like he made it all the way through Eelmarch and the Rift by himself.
Well, judging by the way he ran away from the Wimbar, it's entirely believable.
Yeah, apparently. Fucking Aventus Aretino, owner of the Boots of Blinding Speed.
Boots.
Yeah, I must admit, the
boots.
accidental remixing of quests was an unintended stroke of genius.
This fucking murder quest vacillated between so many canon Skyrim murder quests before the session as well. Like, I was desperately trying to figure out which murder I wanted it to be, and like, oh fuck, what's a murder we can get done in one session so this doesn't take up 4, and then we'll only have 1 for the raid on Solitude. Oh dear. So yes, that is a thing that happened. But I overall also really enjoyed the session. I think there were a few times where I was thinking, oh wow, we keep getting distracted, but we actually pulled it in most times, or like had a bit of a laugh and then got right on with the plot. So even though I felt like we weren't keeping pace a little bit, we actually seemed to keep a reasonable amount of pace, and we kind of got attention for everyone, even if it was in slightly blocky chunks that I should have condensed down a bit. But I don't know, we split the party. And that's on me. Any other feedback? No? Cool. Any narrative questions? Anything anyone was narratively unsure on? Is everyone following the plot?
What is the size of the Grey Quarter today?
I think you'll find it's the Grey 3/4. By the next time you come to Wilhelm, it's just going to have a big sign saying New Vivek.
Under new management.
Ulfric wakes up, looks at his grey skin.
It is I, Ulfric Stormcloak. Metzen.
Sorry, Ollie, you were going to say something.
I was just going to say, I didn't quite. I sort of lost track around the when all you guys went to the orphanage, because there's a few things I was doing in the flat. But you guys all just went and discovered that the child was the one who had murdered some random person from an orphanage, and then Nick kills them nearly.
Yes, yeah, that is entirely what happened. Actually, really,
we went to the orphanage to investigate. Got chatting to someone. Callan charmed his way in. Then, as we were investigating, I spotted someone running, and innocent people don't run, so I sent the Wimbar to apprehend them. Then we all realised, oh shit, the Wimbar only knows how to do 2 things: cripple people and eat people.
I don't think he's ever actually eaten anyone. He's often threatened.
No, he straight up ate a sentient. Yeah, remember?
Once.
He ate their back. He ate them from the back, I think, first.
Yeah.
The face first.
Was it face first, was it?
Yeah, he straight up ate a person.
Alright,
Remember
yeah,
the
no, sure.
Remember their boots? Magical boots?
You do 2 more.
I ate that man.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you remember?
I ate him.
He was so full of life and ready for adventure, and then he just got fucking eaten by
that guy.
by a horse.
I don't think I've ever been more intimidated by young Nicholas. Sorry, Carl?
After his head was pretty much like smashed in, or nearly cut off or something.
Yes.
If Revere punched his head in,
that was
then I put him out of his misery, and then he got eaten by a horse.
Yeah.
That was also a cat.
So, any other narrative questions? Oh, side note, but if we were going longer than 20 sessions, which we're not, and hard cutting it at 20, swear to God, Dunmer Revolution within Wilhelm, it's my fucking arc. For the sequel campaign.
Ah, yes.
Everyone
The one is not fermenting, even if Ulfric does become High King of Skyrim.
I mean, if because Morrowind's not doing nearly so bad nowadays. There's just no easy way to, I guess, eject people from the Grey Quarter. And
Home to Morrowind.
Sorry?
They live here. This is their home. They don't want to go home to Morrowind. This is their home.
Slightly complicated by the fact that they are elves, and so a number of them are actually from Morrowind. Not that many at this point, because even elves only live like 200-300 years, but the older ones. But But yeah, you could probably make a reasonably good case for a Dunmer uprising in Wilhelm probably being able to count on military support from Morrowind, especially since it would be Jesus Christ. Okay, so that would actually be a very arguable Penitus Oculatus, the Imperial spy agency counter-espionage thing, because it would be a revolution within the Stormcloak capital. Morrowind is a loyalist province, for all that they're not super happy about it. And there's a huge Dunmer contingent who already kind of hate Ulfric. So if you were all Imperial aligned, maybe that's the plot line we'd be going down, starting a revolution. To get Wilhelm renamed to the Grey... not the Grey Quarter, the Grey City.
No, just the Grey Quarter.
The
That's
Grey
what it
Quarter.
is.
Brackets.
Now and forever.
Yes, this whole land used to be Eelmarch. Now it's the Grey Quarter of Skyrim.
Is it wrong that I just think of a load of eels with legs marching along when I hear that?
No, I love Eelmarch. I think Eelmarch...
What session number are we on anyway?
This was session number 14.
So 6 sessions for Revere to help Ulfric become King of Skyrim, and then live happily ever after.
We can do it.
I've got it timetabled. I think we should have time. So, that brings us on to... not reminders. XP! XP! XP!
Yeah.
Wah, wah, wah.
Plot progression. Does anyone feel you all made any significant plot progression this session? And if so, what?
Pretty much solved the murder.
Yeah, true, we found the murderer.
Cool. Anything else?
We found out Ulfric lied to us about just being able to get anything from the Grey Quarter.
Defied us.
He didn't actually even really lie to Ollie. Ollie mistook his just prejudice for help. But he was just being patronizing, and Ollie lacked the context, both in character and out, to understand.
Mm-hmm.
I listened back to it before the session, and it's still super fucking mean. And I said it. Ulfric, you prick. Cool, so just the one plot progression thing this week then. Fair. Character development. Does anyone feel like they developed their character this session?
I didn't eat someone, I jumped on.
No, I'm not giving you credit for that.
But it's true.
It is true, it's not character development. If nothing else, you've only eaten one person. You're always threatening to do it, but your threats are empty. You never follow through. Really lack commitment.
I feel like Yumbrick's existential nightmare continued quite well.
Yeah, it's
So he's-
interesting. He's still
Progressive.
going mad a bit now. He's trying to inform people about it, and we're all just ignoring him.
I mean, I died multiple times. I'm right here. What are you on about?
Plot-wise, I'm loving how this looks on the outside. Internally, I'm screaming.
It is extremely funny to me that Yunbrick's side quest is saving the entirety of reality from what ultimately amounts to someone, like a casual and malicious god, and everyone else is here like, gotta get my fucking flute back off that bloody card.
I got dragged 3,000 odd years into the future. I've lost all of my family.
Snap back to reality.
Yeah, but we lost a car.
It might, at some point, gravity may actually disappear.
Ah, fuck, we did a whole Crimson Taurus thing and I didn't make one Pelennor White Straight joke.
I don't know what that is.
God
Yeah.
damn. He's
No
the guy
idea.
from the video that I linked like 3 weeks ago.
He's the time-traveling
He's a-
cyborg.
Time-traveling cyborg who helped to start the Empire.
Okay.
And he's
Yeah.
the whole thing.
He has a whole thing going. He screams the names of future emperors.
His sidekick is a
He's
a
the,
battle cry.
he's the Terminator. That's
Yeah,
what
he's
the Terminator.
Yeah, he is the Terminator.
If I knew-
Basically, one of the writers got fucking high, watched the Terminator, and went, "What if this guy was technically a god?"
So, if I meet this guy, I'm gonna start screaming again.
Yes, because he'll murder you horribly.
Yeah, Pelennor White Straight does not like elves. So, any other character development points this week? No? Fair.
I don't think so.
Sparse week for XP, I think. Cool. Excellence of roleplay. Does anyone feel like anyone else roleplayed particularly well this session?
The Unbreaks descent into madness again.
Yeah.
Clear desperation.
His drunkenness as well.
Pile all the XP Ollie's way.
Anything else?
I liked
You liked your laugh?
the unwillingness to die
Cut out,
from
Yeah, you cut out.
Oh, I liked Zanzarim's
Refusal to die.
inability to die.
Zanzarim refuses to.
I dodged
die.
for your reality.
Zarim don't stand for no save scumming.
Fucking goddamn cat. It's not even like it's the easiest role in the world for him. His odds to fail were not low.
Like, what? It's like, how many of your lives did you use up there, though? Like, literally.
It's got all back every time.
I suppose, yeah, technically. So, that's confusing.
Anyone else?
What was it?
What's this?
This is the role. This is the role play one.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, doesn't sound like it. In that case, I make that out to be 140 experience points for session number 14. That's 10 points, partial plot progression, solve the murder, probably, pretty much. Technically, you need to not kill this child in order to force a confession. 10 points, character development, which is Yunbrick's existential nightmare. Again, partial. 20 points, excellence of roleplay. That's Yumbrick's continuing descent into madness, and Zanzarim refuses to die in any timeline. Plus 100 points, standard. And finally, it's everyone's favourite part of the session. It's the highlights.
sorry, what was total XP again?
140.
Thank you.
Carl, do you have any highlights for that session?
I do. Reality shimmers.
God damn it. Reality shimmers.
Crimson Taurus makes you levitate.
I will 100% give 50 XP if someone can convincingly Photoshop a solid Crimson Taurus fatigue potion with slogan.
Crit success suddenly makes you racist.
God damn it. Anything else?
My name is Yef.
I'm not sure I can write the Swedish... Oh, I guess I can just write Swedish. My name is Yef. Anything else?
Right. I will accept if you don't want to write this one out, like sullying the highlights. But Petty Mer hyphen chant.
Petty Mer hyphen chant.
Just write it down here. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, you'll get it when you write it.
eventually.
You'll get it when you write it.
Oh no. Oh no. You go straight to the wanker's corner. Get the fuck out of here. No, back you go. Get in the corner, Carl. Oh dear. Any other highlights, Carl?
So I was leaving that one till last.
Okay. Callum, do you have any highlights for that session?
Oh, just because it warms my heart. Ulfric opens the curtains.
Oh dear. And of course, the ultimate Ulfric opens the curtains after he wins the Civil War and looks into the distance, south, for the first time since the Civil War began, to see what appears to be the Old Mary Dominion flag flying above the Imperial City.
Yes, while he stood there in his chippy gua pajamas.
Ulfric, possessor of Tamriel's only Gua Kigu. Oh, man, I'd love to have a Gua Kigu. Any other highlights, Carl? Callum?
Wow. How long have you known me?
You do look the same.
Do we really? I've never
Well,
seen a
you're both
picture of Carl.
ginger.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
I have enough hair for the both of us, though.
That's very true. I have no hair. So
You could shave Carl's beard, give you both a beard and like a decent head of hair, and there would still be a substantial amount of Carl's beard left.
excellent. Jurassic Cliff Racers.
Carl, have I ever seen you without a beard? Did you,
I may
ever
have
show
showed you
your...
a driver's license once.
I think maybe you showed me your driver's license, yeah.
No, I haven't shaved my beard for nearly 10 years.
I love Floridian Carl. It's a look into a strange alternate reality.
Mm-hmm.
Any other highlights, Callum?
Sure. The gang joins a Roald Dahl novel.
When was that?
Going to the orphanage where
Oh,
the door
yeah.
is hanging off. Sorry, the door's not even there.
I like the idea that you can charm your way into an orphanage. That feels like that should be at least one of the locations you should not be able to charm your way
that
into.
seems incredibly creepy. Roll 1, I'm excellent at charming my way into orphanages. I took an extra skill point.
Yeah, my entire character is built around sneaking into orphanages.
Any other highlights, Callum?
Oh, can I put cutting off Arn? It's another one. I'm cheating because it's mine, but cutting Arnulf off.
Cutting Arnulf off. But you don't have
Arnulf the Brief. Let's call it Arnulf the Brief.
And so a nickname was born. We actually don't have any rules against your own, like selecting your own highlights.
I know, but it always feels like it's such a scummy thing to do.
Scummy, it feels very self-congratulatory. It's like,
It does,
yes,
it
wasn't
does.
I funny?
Oh yeah, but it's fun when you're funny. Like when I listen back to these, I laugh at myself far too much, and then afterwards I go, "Oh, I'm not that funny."
But I will, of course, say that Ulfric opening the curtains is fucking hilarious.
It's kind of my favorite joke of the session, and it was a good session. Any other highlights?
No, that's it for me.
Cool, Benji. Do you got any highlights for that session?
Suspect found, murder ignored.
Without a comma.
You could do that with a semicolon.
Or a hyphen.
It breaks the goddamn format.
Or just a space. Just a space. We can imagine the commas where we need to.
Put
The
it all
gang
in
half-asses the murder investigation.
I mean, you must have never read that panda joke, right?
No.
Half-asses a murder investigation. Any other highlights, Benji?
The greatest arm in Tamriel.
Let me just evaluate that for you. Whoop, into the sea of ghosts it goes. In Tamriel. Yeah, they call him Old Man Chucker. Any other highlights? But Benji?
This one I'm trying to think of how to phrase it.
Which one is it?
Pillow Fort becomes Fort Knox.
Pillar? That's not how that word goes. Pillow Fort becomes Fort Knox. Anything else?
No, I think that's everything.
Cool. Creed, do you have any highlights for that session?
I think all mine have been taken mostly. Oh, I've got sheep make an enemy of not dragonborn.
Khajiit make an enemy of nearly naked Nord. Anything else? Sorry, was that a no?
That's all from me.
Cool. Ollie, do you got any highlights for that session?
Oh shit, what's the one? I personally enjoyed getting into that shouting match with the Dunmer merchants and maybe nearly causing a race riot.
Canon character
It's nearly a
belly.
lynching.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a riot, that would just be you getting lynched.
Okay, man.
So Arnulf argues with House Flalu.
Not Arnold.
Brick, you
Brick.
shit
Oh
heel.
yeah, Youngbrick.
Why are you getting us two mixed up today?
Don't know.
I don't know. It's been a really long 3 weeks for me, I'm afraid.
Am I getting subsumed, or is
Yes.
Benji, or are we becoming a conglomerate?
You're mantling each other.
Oh god.
Any other highlights, Ollie?
The one. What was the one I was just talking to Callum about?
Don't really know.
I can't remember now. I don't know. Trying to make friends with the Dragonborn as well. I enjoyed that.
Gunbrick, not Arnulf, fails to make friends with nearly naked Nord. Anything else?
I'm installing too many, battle mods. Too many fighting mods. They made everything too real.
You're roboting for me.
There's not really much to say. I was just saying about how I installed too many mod packs.
It's not a video game.
But it's fine. Yeah. Sure.
In that case, you're Nicholas. Do you have any highlights for that session?
I think they've all been taken, actually.
Okay. In that case, I've got one.
I've got one more.
Oh yeah, sure.
The Dragonborn has an SSD.
Nearly.
He's got some quick load times between those save scans.
Well, no, it's only
Right.
our reality.
Yeah, I was going to
It's
say,
not
from our
competitive.
perspective, it's just like a momentary snap cut as we're out.
Yeah, he's running this at 20 FPS.
He's running it on Windows Vista.
Oh god, it's absolutely miserable.
I don't know if you like.
The one he was so determined to kill that cat. Every time he loaded in, it was like half an hour.
Fucking hell. Oh, that moment when it's literal god powers and the fucking cat still manages to outpatience a functional deity.
So you load in all your fucking mods, and you still can't kill that one fucking creature.
So, I think on that subject, the one thing that we're really missing here is, did that fucker just command line delete me? Okay, thank you all.
I do have one more.
Oh yeah, sure.
I can't remember the exact thing of it, but Merchant yeets that thing Yumbrick wants into the River Yolo.
Oh, I think that was the greatest arm in Tamriel.
Ah, right, okay.
I'll put yeeting into the River Yolo, if nothing else for the phrasing. We've ruined Eastmarch. None of the rest of the whole.
I'm going to name him.
I didn't name it that. Well, maybe I did. I actually don't remember. But none of the rest of the holds...
Directly named it that!
None of the rest of the holds have been defaced. Apart from, I guess, there's the Very Pale. But Wilhelm Eelmarch and the River Yolo... all we need to do is rename Kynesgrove to something horrible, and the whole fucking hold is fucked. Oh dear, okay.
Sounds like a challenge.
Well, we're not going anywhere near Kynesgrove. Not as far as I've planned, at least. Thank you all for a very entertaining session number 14. Does anyone have any final... And I suspect I know what Callum's going to suggest. Does anyone have any final words for the recording?
Ulfric opens the curtains.